Welcome to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. Welcome to Oulton Park, Foster's, Australian for beer. And this week we are with the amazing BAC Mono, another British car in the British circuit. What a surprise! Current standings in the league are Darren Head is the dominant leader this time round, followed by Diogo Silva, Simon Allen, and Diogo Almeida, and Jorge Jesus. Simon Allen and Darren Head on the front row. And away we go here for a 20-lap race. It's a good start by Alonso Fonso. There's a crash already. There's a crash, and this was Alonso Fonso. Disaster, mayhem, cars flying all over the place. I couldn't see who was involved. But basically it all started when Jorge Jesus tried to find the gap where there was none. And if you don't go for a gap, you are no longer a racing driver. But I think that gap was probably a little bit too small and disappearing there. For Jorge Jesus and Darren Head and Simon Allen have collided, but miraculously Simon Allen is still in the lead of this race. Now followed by the Diogos. Nice start from Diogo Almeida, an incredible start from Diogo Silva from 7th to 3rd in one corner. Diogo Silva is the main beneficiary of that tango between Darren Head, Simon Allen and Jorge Jesus. Let's see where Jorge and Darren are at the moment. Darren Head is in 6th place. Jorge Jesus is the driver that has lost the most time because he has dropped to 12th place out of 13 drivers. Scott Davely was involved in that as well. He was right behind that trio of drivers and was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. We understand that he could not press the reset button and was basically stuck until pretty much everyone went through that first corner here at the Oulton Park, this quasi-oval circuit where most of the turns are to the right, as we see Cavallo, and someone has gone off there, that's Chris Russell that has had an eventful race. We had some onboards with Chris. Oh, look at this, everyone on the grass there, and Chris Russell actually recovers. Amazingly recovers to 5th place. What has happened there to Kev Allen and also to Darren Head, that both of them seemed that they had overtaken Chris. And look at this now, Jambo is hitting the back of Frankie in a battle for basically 8th place, and Jambo goes up 1 place. Kev Allen continues to battle there with Darren Head, and look at this is very difficult to do with this car, to basically run side by side. Nice move there by Kev Allen, keeps it in one piece, and Darren Head must be somewhat frustrated. Almost contact there, and Chris Russell was hit by Kev Allen as well. Chris Russell was hit by Kev Allen. All sorts of action between these three drivers, and Darren Head can't believe it. He had a front row position for the start and was set to challenge for a podium. Now is stuck in the middle of the battle for 6 places. Alonso Fonso, Jorge Jesus, who was also in that opening lap tango, continues to try to make some moves and go up the field now, making a move on Chris Winstanley for 11th place. Alonso Fonso up to the top 10 and clearly very close to Frankie, and Kev Allen has got the problem. Kev Allen has lost time because he was in 7th, now he's in 8th and losing time because Frankie is right behind him. So Kev Allen is, and look at this now, Frankie is under attack from George Jesus. That's not a contact, contact, and they both went off the road. And I think that's a tricky overtaking spot over there. If only George had waited a couple more corners, he probably would have pressed Frankie in a cleaner sort of way, but Frankie, to George's credit, also seemed to shut the door on George, so I'm going to put the racing incident tag in that one, I'm afraid. I think both drivers, look at this now, that's Chris Russell. Chris Russell has spun now towards the back end of the lap, and he continues to lose time. He's now in 11th. Scott Davely is up to the top 10. All sorts of action happening right here in the midfield. but the top four have been there since the beginning, with Simon Allen now more than 3 seconds ahead of Diogo Almeida. Diogo Silva keeping up there. Oh, look at this, Scott David has hit behind for someone, that's Dale Taylor. Dale Taylor was hit from behind by Scott Davis. Scott actually takes the position and is up to 9th. Dale Taylor in 10th, and Chris Russell, that has been losing time over and over again, is down to 12th. Alonso Fonso now is back into 11th because he has just gone again overtaken Chris. Frankie is in 13th place after that incident with George. That was at the exit of turn 1 into turn 2. Now Kev Allen is on the inside of Jambo, back in 6th place. Darren Head is in 5th, and Darren finally seems to be running in some clean air because he has now basically 4 seconds gap to Kev Allen, that has lost time there somehow. Kev Allen has lost time because he was right next to Darren. Look at this now, Alonso Fonso again trying the same move on the inside, the exit of turn 1. This time he is successful, and he goes up into the top 10. Chris Stanley in a nice 9th place there, and defending from Georgia with Scott Lively not too far ahead of this pair of drivers. And look at this, the braking light of this car is actually at the top. That's very, very classy indeed. Look at this, George Luz is having some troubles actually going over Chris Winstanley, and someone has gone off there. I think that's Kev Allen again. Yes, it is Kev Allen, and the dramas of Kev Allen's season just continue here. He's down to 8th place with Scott Lively now incredibly up to 7th. Chris Winstanley is in 9th, and look at this now, Dale Taylor is coming on Chris Winstanley, that has lost 2 positions in a couple of corners as Alonso Fonso goes up to 9th. Dale Taylor up to 10th, and Chris Winstanley is in 11th. The other Chris Russell is in 12th, as now the reigning champion Kev Allen is now putting some pressure on Scott Lively. Scott is up to 7th place after being dead last. Right after the start, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And look at this, Kev Allen is really pushing hard with that back mono, the very strange road car that was selected for this combo. Looks a bit like an open wheeler, but is actually a road legal car, would you believe it? And clearly these old folks enjoying their time here at Oulton Park Fosters, the short version of the Oulton Park circuit. We were here last year with touring cars, and what a race that was. This one has been a bit quieter at the front. Here is Diogo Silva, who is actually not that far behind Diogo Almeida. Diogo Almeida must have had some sort of problem because he has lost, Simon Allen is on a postcode of his own in this race. He's got 8 seconds at the end of lap 8. You do the math, that's basically a second a lap, and Simon Allen, sorry, not Kev Allen, Simon Allen is dominating this race and could well be going for another victory this season, as Jambo now has lost it slightly at the last corner. Jambo has been sort of yo-yoing there between 6th and 8th place. He's currently in 6th because something has happened. No, something has not happened to Darren Head. Darren Head has simply taken 4th place from Brand Stewart. We haven't seen a lot of him, but he was in an excellent 4th position. Look at this now, someone about to be lapped by Simon Allen. That was Dale Taylor, that is now 13, making a mistake there. And fortunately for race leader Simon Allen, he goes through without any further drama. Here is the other Allen, in this case Kev. Kev continues to put pressure on Scott Lively, but not really making a move. And look at this, it's really not that really to overtake here in this open park. Ooh, look at this, Kev Allen running wide, keeps it in one piece as Alonso Fonso, who is behind these drivers now, as now Scott Lively is putting pressure. Oh! He's putting pressure on Jambo and actually puts a little bit too much pressure. so that Jambo actually went off in the last corner, and Scott Davely and someone else is pitting. I think that's Dale Taylor. He may be retiring from this race. We shall see. But we certainly saw a blue car enter the pit lane as Kev Allen continues to slide and drift and continues to be behind Scott Davely as they are now battling for 6th place. Let's see what has happened to Jambo. Jambo is actually down to 8, and I can confirm that it was Dale Taylor that has entered the pits, but I'm not certain that he has retired. We will keep an eye on the leaderboard as Kev Allen really now completely frustrated with Scott Davely. He probably has a much better pace than the American driver, but really not able to find a way through. Scott defending very well and also not making any sort of mistakes under pressure, as we are already in the second half of this 20 lap race. Look at this now, Scott shutting the door there in turn 1, but leaves the door open on the outside at the exit, and Kev Allen does not ask twice. He just goes through and takes the position from the American driver with the red car, and Kev Allen is up. Look at this, Scott is struggling a little bit with his tires there. He is sliding at the exit of the corner, and Kev Allen is up to 6th place. Let's check on the battle for 2nd. That's Diogo Silva that continues to be relatively close, but not really threatening that much. Diogo Almeida that continues to be in 2nd place since the beginning. They continue to lose time more or less at the rhythm of 1 second per lap to Simon Allen, and what a dominant performance this has been from Simon. Absolutely brilliant so far. Darren Head, let's keep an eye on him because he definitely has the pace in this combo, and he could still very much be in contention for a podium here. Let's keep track of the position. Darren is in 4th place, 16 seconds behind Simon Allen, but only 5 seconds or so behind these pair of drivers, the two Diogos, with Diogo Almeida leading Diogo Silva. Let's keep an eye because we still have quite a lot of laps left, and Darren Head could certainly be in contention here. Scott Davely is not letting Kev Allen escape as he continues to be in 7th place. Let's see where Jambo was. Jambo had quite good pace before that incident with Scott Davely at the last corner. And look at this, Alonso Fonso has had a problem, certainly has had a problem. We saw him on the grass. We couldn't quite understand if he had a problem coming back to the track, but certainly he has lost time yet again. And Chris Winstanley, very, very steady indeed, not making any mistakes whatsoever, and with pretty good pace. Is look at this, Alonso Fonso makes a very late move there. Ended up managing to get the position, but it was a little bit ambitious from George there. And clearly George does have the pace, but is also a little bit stuck in the field this afternoon here at this round number 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that is round number 5. Someone has hit the cones there. That's round 5, so races 9 and 10 as we approach the middle of this spring season. And what a season it has been for Darren Head. Simon Allen also in the position to score big points here, and certainly that could well put pressure on Diogo Silva in the point standings. Diogo currently sitting 2nd in the point standings, 3rd in the race, but for how much longer with this type of performances from Simon Allen? He certainly would be a title contender if he keeps these sort of performances, as Darren Head now actually has yes, he has is very, very close to Diogo Silva, yes, he is indeed only 3 seconds now. It was 5 seconds just a couple of laps ago, and as I said, I think that Darren is still in contention at least for 3rd place, if not 2nd. Stuart Brand is in the top 5 position. He's actually been 4th for the majority of this race. Now he has lost a bit of touch with Darren Head. Frankie is here in 12th place, as he is not far from Chris Russell, and not the greatest race that Chris Russell has had this season. A little bit of trouble adapting to this very unique combo of car and circuit, because this is really a car that needs to be tamed around this Oulton Park circuit. Very, very easy to make mistakes and to lose time, but of course no such problems for Simon Owen, that now has 13 seconds at the end of lap 15. Now the news is that Diogo Almeida has actually opened a gap to Diogo Silva, so Diogo Silva now actually more worried about Darren Head, who's only a couple of seconds, no, it's not a couple of seconds, it's 4 seconds behind, so Darren has lost a little bit of time, maybe a mistake, or maybe his tires are just finished from a very, very long race going up the field. Let's keep an eye on that gap, because we still have 4 laps to go, and anything can happen. Scott Davely is behind. Is this Kev Allen in front of him? I think it is, and Kev actually now losing a little bit of pace as Scott has recovered ground and now is back in contention for that 6th place. So interesting battle here, and a bit unexpected, because Kev actually made a move on Scott in such a way that suggested that he was going to have the pace to just drive away from the American driver, but the American driver clearly, Scott Davely, not happy with 6th position at the moment, and 7th, I'm sorry, and wants that 6th place from Kev Allen, and he's coming now on lap 17, he's definitely coming, but can you find a way around is the key question, because look at this, Kev Allen is actually slowing down. Kev Allen has slowed down maybe to avoid a penalty. I'm not certain what has happened there, but Kev Allen is clearly slowing down, and maybe does he have some sort of issue with the car? Of course we don't have damage, we don't have mechanical issues, but maybe his tires are just finished, or he's just trying to avoid the penalty. In any case, it just seems that he's losing a lot of time. Let's keep an eye on that battle, as Stuart Brand now is approaching someone, and I believe this is a lapped car. I think it is, yes. Stuart lapping, I believe it was Frankie there in 12th place. As we enter the late stages of this race, and Simon Owen now has started to take it easy a bit. He has stabilized that gap at around 14-15 seconds, which is more than enough now with just a couple of laps to go. Simon Owen in that orange BAC mono, he is dominating this race, and in a couple of laps he's going to see the checkered flag as we go through the field. Diogo Almeida is in 2nd place and now has opened the gap, around 3-second gap, to Diogo Silva, who in turn has maintained that gap of around 3 seconds over Darren Head. That's the battle for the last podium position. I don't think that Diogo Silva has the pace at this stage to challenge for 2nd, but does he have the pace to at least keep his podium position, and certainly still helpful to finish ahead of Darren Head for the point standings, albeit a very, very marginal position, just 1 place up, so that's 35 points versus 32. That's just 3 points, reducing the gap to the leader by 3 points, but every point counts in such a tight battle for the title in this spring season between Darren Head, Diogo Silva, Simon Owen, and perhaps others that are not far behind. Diogo Almeida, again with a very, very good finish. He's in 4th in the standings, and certainly finishing ahead of Darren Head and ahead of Diogo Silva, and the top 4 are actually the top 4 on the standings. Nice positions for Stuart Brand in 5th. Scott Davely has actually gone up to 6th. We saw that overtaking Kev Allen, as we are now entering the last lap, as Simon Owen now taking it easy, just lapping another car on his way to yet another victory, and this has been a very, very dominant performance indeed. He still has time to make his usual mistake on the last lap, because he's got more than 15 seconds, so now he just has to take it to the checkered flag. And here he comes in the last corner. Simon Allen is going to score a dominant victory from pole position. He led every lap of this race, and Simon Allen has won it. Nicely done for Simon Allen. Second place is going to be Diogo Almeida, yet another podium for the Portuguese driver, with a very, very solid performance indeed. He may not have been in the front row, but he certainly had the pace to finish in second. There goes Diogo Almeida. Third is going to be Diogo Silva. Yes, that's the other green car crossing the line there. Fourth is going to be Darren Head. That's a bit of a disappointment, of course, after that incident on the opening lap. Stuart Brand with an excellent top 5 position. Scott Lavely, after an eventful race, finishing in 6th. Cavallan manages to get 7th, and Alonso Afonso Jorge Jesus recovers to 8th. He has overtaken Jambo and Chris Winstanley. Jambo finishes in 9th, and Chris Winstanley, I believe it's not his first top 10 in Old Folks Racing, but it may well be his first top 10 of the season. Nicely done there with Chris Russell in 11th and Frankie in 12th, and they're completing the finishers. That was quite a race. Join us very soon for race 2.